where do you draw the line for a player when they're doing all of the right things and they're putting in the hours and doing everything right, but they're not seeing the results, and this could go on for years. And where do you then say, okay, maybe this player just doesn't have what it takes to make it? Because unfortunately, I'm sure there are players where no matter how much work they put in, they're just not going to be a professional tennis player. And so where do you see that line as a coach, and how do you navigate that situation with your players?
That's a big question, mate. I love it. It's a huge question. Um, it obviously depends on the phase of development this player's in. I think that's a key moment for context here. Um, but if you think of, let's say I've gone past my 18th birth year, I'm playing full-time tennis, I'm trying to make it as a pro. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. Now, if ranking and money and whatever determines whether you continue, then and your results are not going that way, and it's been 12, 18 months, 24 months, and you just can't win matches and not at the level, and you've got no money left, and okay, there's a decision to be made. If you're playing the game because you just want to have or develop a personal or continue down a personal goal that you like, I want to be a tennis player. That's what I've always wanted to be. I just want to tick the boxes every day that I've had the chance to do this, and I just love the experience and love the opportunity. You might keep playing in that situation where you might not be achieving, but you keep playing. If you're a junior and you're aspiring to be a professional player, the journey is so long. Like, I had a 12-year-old the other day saying, basically, should I keep playing? Why am I keep losing? I'm like, you're 12. The journey is so long. The average age of a top 100 player in men's is like 26, 27. In the females, it's like 23, 24. You're 12. You've got like 10, 12 years of development left. What decision are you making here? Why are you choosing that vocabulary around your game right now? What is the thinking behind it? Who's pressuring you into saying that results are really important now? Is it yourself? Is it external? So you kind of got to understand what part of their development phase they're in, and then what their purpose is and why they're trying to play. And if you can understand the purpose and the development phase, then you understand whether you continue or whether you don't, right? Sometimes, I've got players, and I was probably that player who was 19, no money left, wasn't tracking the way I wanted to be tracking, and I had to make this pretty harsh decision on myself. No one made it for me. I made it myself. I never ever make a decision for a player to say, "Hey, it's not your sport." That's not my job. My job is to get the best out of every athlete. As long as they want to be playing, I'm there for them, and that's my job as a coach. It's the players' responsibility to make decisions upon themselves, whether they continue, whether they push harder, whether they don't. That's not my call. So it is a really hard place to be. And I've had players have to make these calls, and they've come to me to say, should I keep playing? And I sit there and we have discussions about pros and cons of it, about why they should, why they shouldn't. And I help in the process, but I will never make that decision because that's not my right to make that decision. And I feel like players deserve the chance to fulfill a dream. And someone, I always get this question, how do you tell someone they're just not good enough? I never tell them that. I've heard coaches tell kids that they're not going to be ever a tennis player. That is not your job. If someone wants to play tennis because they love the game, let them do it. Allow them the chance to do it. Allow them the opportunity to do it, and support them. You're their coach. You're their confidant. You're their person that they go to other than their parents for the advice. Believe in them, help them, support them. And the reason I say this, Connor, is, in my pursuit of being a professional tennis player, I failed. I failed at that. I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve. But you know what? What tennis taught me was more than hitting balls, winning matches, making money, getting a ranking. Tennis taught me how to be a better human. Tennis taught me resilience. I was a soft kid. It taught me to problem solve and decision make and to be tougher. That no one was gonna pick up the slack when I was on the court. I had to do it. No one was gonna make the decisions on the court. I had to do it. No one was gonna tell me to quit. I had to do that if I was going to do that. So in the landscape of this sport, we are teaching players more than just winning and losing. It is so many skills that they are going to be able to transfer into life. And we are giving them the opportunity to become better people. And my last quote about that is, we are people much longer than we are tennis players. Right? Teach these players life lessons that they are going to continue to use throughout their whole life, because you know what? Tennis is going to last till you're 25, 30, 35, 40 at most. Right? Roger Federer, one of the greatest of all time, he's done, 40 years of age. Now what do you do for the next 40 years of your life? You're a human. Now you get a chance to use those skills in a different avenue of life. And I don't think that telling someone they're not good enough is helping them to develop those skills.